The House Oversight Committee issuing subpoenas for both the president's son, Hunter, and his brother, James, as part of their investigation into the Biden family's alleged corrupt business dealings. Committee Chairman James Comer issuing this warning on Cuddle earlier tonight.
If they fail to comply with these subpoenas, then hopefully we'll take congressional action to hold them in contempt. I mean, we fully expect the Bidens to cooperate. We want to know what they did to receive the money. We want to know what role Joe played in the influence peddling scheme.
Hunter's lawyers issuing this warning to Speaker Mike Johnson in a letter saying, quote, "We ask you to think twice before joining this spectacle. You should consider the numerous lies, falsehoods, and fabricated illustrations by your chamber's chairman in the course of peddling baseless allegations of misconduct by our client or his family."
Let's bring in a member of the House Oversight Committee, Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. Byron, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
It's good to be with you.
So, Byron, let's unpack this. Do you think the Bidens are going to cooperate? It doesn't seem like there's good answers to how James Biden got money into Joe Biden's pockets, saying it was a loan. Probably they can't answer the questions. Do they cooperate with your committee?
Well, they've now been subpoenaed by Congress. So if they choose to ignore a congressional subpoena, there are legal remedies for that. I would not recommend that to Hunter Biden or to Jim Biden or anybody else in the Biden family. If they believe that what we are saying is false, well, then there's an opportunity to come and prove that and actually discuss that, whether it's going to be through the depositions or whether that's going to be through testimonies to the committee or whether that's going to be in open committee hearings. They can make that case very clearly. So if they have nothing to hide, I don't know what the problem is.
What's the time frame that you're looking at, Congressman, here? What can we expect to see in the next few weeks?
Well, look, I think what's going to happen is we're going to try to get some transcribed interviews with several people surrounding the Biden family who are either been tied into some of these account chains. Money has moved to them or through some of their bank accounts. We want to be able to do that and then corroborate that information with bank records and financial documents that we have gone through the process of gaining access to. And so I think that's going to take probably a couple of weeks to a month to sift through all that because people are going to need their time to do this work, being very careful, being very precise, wanting to make sure that we get the record absolutely correct.
Congressman, what do you make of the Biden lawyers' veiled threat to Speaker Johnson? Basically, it was a mob-esque letter saying, "Pretty nice house you got there. You may not want to do this." I found it unbelievable that lawyers would send that kind of letter to the sitting Speaker of the House.
Well, actually, I'm not surprised. I figured something like this was going to come because you got to understand that Hunter Biden has been protected, frankly, by his lawyers, but also elements of the Department of Justice. That's how you get situations where IRS investigators want to be able to go subpoena location data on text messages. They want to go get other things done, and either Hunter Biden is tipped off or it is stopped by elements of the Department of Justice. So they feel, frankly, emboldened and empowered to be this rash, but quite frankly, we don't care what Maine Justice was doing. We are going to investigate the facts and the truth and bring that to light. And at the end of the day, what this all is about, it's not about Hunter Biden. It's not about Jim Biden. It's about the fact that Joe Biden knew that his family was selling access to his office for many, many years. He encouraged it. He took advantage of it. And you can see by the checks, he got money from it. That's what this is about.
Do you anticipate there being an impeachment trial in the middle of an election year?
I think it could be very possible. The level of information that we are now getting to this point is very damning. Secondarily, I will say that we're also getting information about how these investigations were slow-walked or stopped altogether by some of the political brass at the Department of Justice. And so I think there's going to be other questions, serious questions, that need to be answered on that front. I could fully anticipate this moving into next year.
You know, I'm not quite sure the Bidens are going to show up. If they don't follow your subpoena, you look to the Department of Justice to enforce that subpoena to prosecute these two Bidens based on their track record. I don't think that's going to happen, Congressman, but we're going to report on it and watch, as you do, to see what happens with James Biden and Hunter Biden. Congressman Byron Donalds, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.